Okay, guys, so as promised, I have a special guest with me today, and we're speaking all things legality, yes, because we don't want to get in no trouble, future reference. So this is for all of our creatives, and I really want you guys to come in, be a part of the conversation, of course. And yeah, I'm going to introduce my guest shortly, but let me build the live a little bit. But before we proceed, I'm going to go over to the comment section. If you guys see me and you're hearing me clearly, just give me a little thumbs up and I'll proceed. Yeah, good. So prior to the setup and everything, we did come across a tiny bit of technical issue, but nonetheless, we're here and we're gonna flow. Yeah. So let me know in the comment section. Just give me a little thumbs up if you're seeing me and you're hearing me clearly. Yeah. Now we want all our small business owners ignore ignore the background noise. Outside is very nice in New York, so I'm enjoying it. Yes, I'm enjoying it. So again, we're looking for small business owners. We're looking for people in the creative economy to be a part of the conversation. Yeah. So like, share, and let's roll. Yeah. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and introduce my guest. He's attorney at law, David Edmund, and he's all the way in neighboring Trinidad and Tobago. Yes. So we have be on all your best behavior. We have a very nice outsider to educate us. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him on screen. Yeah.
Hey, Keisha.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey, Keisha, you hear me clearly? Tell me, how you keeping over
So
there?
guys, I'll let him introduce himself again, all of his credentials, the type of law that he practices, and we'll move ahead.
All right, sounds good. Keisha, I'm hoping that you are enjoying your time out there. Guys, it's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to come and share about this session that we're going to be having in collaboration with Kenny Jenkins Production. It's such a pleasure to be here and really looking forward to sharing some information with you as to what to expect in this session. Just to tell you a little about myself, so I'm David Edmund, as Lakeisha said, attorney at law. I'm hailing from Trinidad and Tobago, as you guys will hear the accent. Lakeisha said, you need to make sure that we're on our best behavior because the Trinidadian is going to be here. But I think they say that Trinbagonians are some of the most watchless people, we like to misbehave and so on. But who knows? Who knows? It's good that you guys are on your good behavior. And I myself, I'm going to try to be on my good behavior. I'm here and I'm saying to myself, I know we're talking about the creatives, and so I probably should have brought my little guitar or some sort of instrument to the office today, just so that you could see that I'm also into the creative. But Akisha, yes. So David Edmund, I've been practicing law for a while, more than 7 years here in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm also called to practice law in Grenada and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I really love what I do. I came from a simple background, and that's one of the very reasons why I'm so involved in these sort of community efforts to educate persons and share knowledge as best as I can. The office that I work at Jasper Attorneys at Law, I'm one of the partners here. And it's one of our aims where we try to engage in those sorts of community education initiatives, where, for example, we've been invited to certain church groups and some other community groups to speak about things like wills and estates and property law and other areas. And here we are, after being asked by the very dedicated and passionate Kimmy, who is so driven by ensuring that musical rights and persons' rights are protected. She asked for us to collaborate in doing a session, and this is where we're at now, and this is the reason why we've accepted the invitation to say, you know what, let's give back to the community and these persons who are in the creative arts, Makisha. Yeah. And
Okay, nice. So guys, I don't want you to think that I'm being disrespectful because I have my phone in my ear. I'm actually listening on because prior to this, I told you guys that we having a tad bit of technical difficulty, but we need to bring this to the public. It's very important. So we decided to jump over all the hurdles. So I'm actually listening to Mr. Edmund and his response so that I can continue. So this is not me being unattentive. I'm actually listening in. So please bear with me with the phone. But yeah, I was just listening to his response. So, Mr. Edmund, my next question to you. This is not me trying to step out of line, but lawyers normally rate their success rate, right? So, as it relates to what you do, let's just get a brief overview as it relates to, probably a client who had a bit of an issue. You coming in on your white horse saving the day. Let's know what your success rate is like.
Yeah. Hey, Keisha, that's a wonderful question. And I think it's reasonable and it's fair to really ask, tell me a little about the sort of success and the results that you're getting as an attorney in any sort of profession. I had some challenge recently with my vehicle, and I had to go by a particular mechanic issue. And by a mechanic who isn't as competent as I think the mechanic should be. So indeed, it's a fair question. And Keisha, I certainly don't want to be boasting about myself, but I can say this, that I have a lot of returning clients. And I think that's a good sign. When you when you do work for people and they find themselves having to come back to deal with other areas of law that they may want to address, I think that's certainly a good sign to show that there's something that we're doing that persons find quite useful. So I'm not just solely an attorney who deals with intellectual property or so. We deal with, at our office and myself, we deal with various type of laws. So for non-contentious, which would be, for example, wills and estates and land matters, company registration, intellectual property matters as well. And then we deal with contentious, such as a person's civil rights that may have been infringed upon, whether it be a court or there's a breach of contract, even when it comes to employment issues, and those sorts of areas, we deal with them. So one, I say that my return rate is quite high. A lot of persons will return. Secondly, I've never been before the disciplinary committee, which is something I maintain very high. In terms of your ethics, it's crucial that as an attorney, you perform your you perform your function as ethical as possible. So I'm thankful for that, as well as in terms of when we just hear clients' feedback, as how our representation was, and so customer service, I think, is something that they really with our interaction, and I think the results at the end of it all, there have been matters where you have persons coming to the office worried and stressed, family law matters, persons who may have entered particular contracts and there's a potential breach of this contract, and they now so worried and stressed. I recognize that I push a lot of people. That's what this office and what the law is about. I push a lot of people, but behind the people is people's lives and liberty and finance and so on. So I'm very mindful that when we're dealing with a matter, give it our best. So that's how you answer that question, Akisha. I know there's going to be a little delay, so I'll just allow you to enjoy your setting, as well as you could flow with the conversation from there.
Okay, nice. So, my next question to you, right? Why is it important to protect your creative craft? Because, mind you, so I'm in New York and I'm listening to, I think it's a breakfast show, and he
Right.
was speaking about the copyrights and so on, and how you should trademark your business name so that in the future, you have Starbucks. You don't want your Starbucks in the future to kind of conform the people. So just speak to us as the importance of protecting that
Yeah.
creative craft.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, intellectual property is a very broad area. There's stuff like patent registration. There's protecting your copyrights stuff. There's trademark. There's a patent. There's a lot of areas when it comes to intellectual property, right? But This particular session, we're going to be heavily focusing upon copyright protection. So why is it important? You see, Akisha, I believe that persons in the Caribbean or persons in the diaspora who may have that kind of Caribbean root, we are very talented people. We are able to look at something and create things. We are able to have ideas and see how we are able to foster that for other persons to enjoy and benefit from. But what is so sad is that even though there may be that sort of creation and creativity from us Caribbean persons, there's that failure to really protect the benefits that we could generate from that sort of creation. And this is the reason why protecting your rights are so important when it comes to intellectual property. You see, Akisha, I have a desire that this sort of creation that we have here in the Caribbean, when this is made and this is produced, there should be some sort of benefits or rewards for that sort of creative arts. Just imagine this. So I dabbled a bit in YouTube for a while, and it was just so amazing when I published some of these videos. Keisha, I would waking up the following morning and looking at these videos like 2 months, 3 months after, and I see the amount of views that would be gotten from these videos. And you see, when you actually do engage into intellectual property, it's like you are cloning yourself, Akisha. You could be elsewhere and somebody else is listening to your music. Somebody else is reading your article. Somebody else is engaging in something that you produce. And what you should be able to benefit from is whatever kind of economic profits also you could generate from that mere fact that you've cloned yourself based on your creative ability. And when you look at the law, really, once you create something, but when you create something in law, there's this sort of automatic copyright protection on it, right? But a lot of persons, they fail to understand how to reinforce and to ensure that there's that greater protection of whatever they produce. What are the steps they need to take? How is it that you're able to deal with any sort of infringement of those rights that you may also be exposed to or may have had your work been exposed to, and among other factors. So this is why I think it's so important, Akisha, to really see the importance of engaging in protecting your copyright.
Okay, nice. Nice, nice. So before I go into my other question, no, I must give credit where credit is due, commendation where it's necessary. So give me big up your whole self because when I saw the flyer, to me I thought that is a very, very, very good. That is a very good venture, and I hope probably every 3 months, probably every 6 months, we can have dialogue with other attorneys. Mind you, you might start the race, but I know every somebody else might have something else to contribute. So let this thing be an ongoing something because it is appreciated and education is key. Knowledge is key. So if we have other professionals coming on board to assist, trust me, it is worth it and it's free. It's absolutely free. The Zoom, it's absolutely free. So yes, it's free, but I know you probably have to put in more to encourage individuals to actually come out on the 9th of June to be a part of, the whole protecting your creative craft. You come with your questions, you have your notepads, take all the information you need, but if you have 30 seconds to encourage me, Pineapple, to be a part of the meeting, what would you say?
Hey, Pineapple, there's need for you to be there and all other persons who are going to be looking at this, whether it be now or even those persons on the replay. This is a session that is going to enlighten you on areas that are crucial when it comes to copyright protections? If you're into music, how is it that you arrange some sort of collaboration with other persons working on a song? Lyrical recordings, and they need to protect that. Also, it's going to address issues of licensing and royalties, ensuring that you have fair payments for any sort of contribution that we have made to any sort of intellectual property that was created. Contracts and agreements. A lot of people out there just do things, however they want, whenever they want, etc. But it is necessary for you to actually have proper contracts and agreements as to how the relationship is going to work when it comes to you producing music, when it comes to you writing music, when it comes to you going on a stage to perform your music, whatever other arts you might be involved in. Other areas such as digital distribution and streaming, among other areas such as intellectual property disputes. And so is it that you just, if your rights are infringed, you just leave it as is, or is it possible for you to get some sort of remedy? Some interesting conversation that we're going to be having on the 9th of June via Zoom at 6 p.m. You want to be there and make sure that you share the link. Looking forward to seeing you there. And in addition to that, Pineapple, I am not the only one going to be there. I'm going to bring in some of my colleagues from Trinidad and Tobago as well. And we're going to share and do some comparison as to what's happening here in Trinidad and Tobago when it comes to intellectual property. So I'm hoping that you guys are going to be there. It's really looking forward to being able to share information and also answer all your questions.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So again, guys, so we're encouraging each and every one of you to be a part of the Zoom for June 9th. It's absolutely free. I mean, oh gosh, it's free. You not to pay nothing to educate yourself. So, Mr. Edmund, thank you so much. Do you have any final comments that you want to give to the public before we leave?
Thank you for having me. And I just want you guys to be safe out there. Enjoy life, and really looking forward to seeing you guys at the session where we're able to discuss how you're able to protect your rights while you're enjoying your life. Pineapple, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So again, guys, so let me again apologize. One, for the background noise. Two, for having the phone in my ear. It's actually to listen to Mr. Edmund to ensure that I'm hearing his responses correctly, right? So again, because of the technical glitch. So Mr. Edmund was hearing me, I wasn't hearing him. So we decided to take a leap of faith and go ahead with the interview anyway. So if you're an artist or a musician, if you are in the creative economy, you can go ahead and educate your friend, let them know that the Zoom, it's absolutely free, takes place on June 9th. It will be hosted by Mr. Korean, Kimran Korean. And of course, as Mr. Edmund said, he would be bringing some of his colleagues, his legal colleagues from Trinidad to educate us. Yeah, let's be a part of it. Let's share the information, and yeah, let's be great. Thank you so much for joining. Have a good day. Bye.